Hello, hello. Welcome to Sparkle.Sanctuary. My name is Rebecca. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. I'm so glad you're joining me today. I typically don't do a month in review. I normally do just a kind of a post review of the diamond paintings that I've been working on, but I took a bit of a hiatus from YouTube. And now that I'm getting back into the groove of things, I just kind of want to show that I did not quit diamond painting. I did slow down some, but I did find my groove this in the month of the month of May. And so I completed quite a few. And since I've done so much, I kind of wanted to share what I've been doing and thought I could do it like a April and May month in review instead of just like a single diamond painting review. So hopefully you enjoy. So let's go ahead and get started. My first image here is called Dragon's Door. It's by Raven Phelan from Diamond Art Club, as you can see. Now, I started it off kind of crooked, but just look at the size of this. This thing is a beast. I actually zoomed out on my camera a little bit more than I normally would. You can see my utensils and everything on my drafting table. Like, this is a giant image. It took me the entire month of April, I think maybe even part of March to finish this. I worked on this for quite a while. I think part of that is because I did take that hiatus and there were several weeks where I didn't do any diamond painting. But like I said, once I got my groove, I got it back. But I think part of what took me so long is because I've just realized, like, I've known all along that I'm not a huge fan of square shaped diamonds, but this one kind of really sealed the deal for me. The diamonds were not fabulous, and there's gapping. And then also there's like big chunks here where there is line blocking. And while I like line blocking, this amount in these kind of bland colors was just a little bit much. I was so glad that I ended up working, like I start in the middle and then I flip it over and I work on it upside down. So I did this half first and then I did this half down here second. And I'm so glad that I did it that way because this has so much color and made it interesting. There were ABs and everything else like that. And so this is just a lovely portion to work on as far as like being able to change it up. But because this image was so big, it just took so long. And then my last squares, of course, were back to this line blocking section. If you don't know, line blocking is when you have lines of the same color, so you can use a multi-placer in those lines, but maybe it's not just one section of that color. So as you can see here, there's lines of these darker colors and then lines of these grays. And so I was able to use my multi-placer quite a bit, but it was just those few colors and they were all pretty dark. So that's what made it boring for me. But anyway, there was very little confetti in this. Confetti is where there's a lot of color changes in one small area. This was a pretty like line blocking, color blocking-ish kind of diamond painting. And so for this size, for square diamonds, for me, it doesn't work. Now, when you take a step back and you look at this image, it is gorgeous. The dragon looks like it's on fire. The door looks like it's on fire. Seeing the space come in through behind the door, it just looks magnificent in person. And I love the way it turned out. I don't regret doing this diamond painting and I don't regret working on it. I just wish that I had really kind of not been in a headspace where I wasn't struggling so much with diamond painting and with my own personal life. And so that's what made this hard. I think if I had been in a much different frame of mind when I started this, I probably would have enjoyed it much more. I don't have any problems. There were a couple places where the print was a little blurry or maybe the glue wasn't quite as sticky, but I'm not having any issues with the diamonds falling off. I don't have any popping drills. And so I don't have any long-term concerns about this picture. It is normal Diamond Art Club quality with the soft backing and the poked and scalped edges. I don't have any issues with that. I would say, I always ask myself, would I purchase this image again? Probably not. It is a beautiful piece of art, but my art styles and tastes have changed. And this isn't something I plan on hanging in my house. And so I just prefer smaller images now. I think if I ever turn around and I decide that I like the bigger images or I want to get back into square shaped diamonds, then yes, I could potentially see myself doing this. But in my current state of mind, know if that makes sense. All right, so that was finish number 1, and this was completed in April and was my only completion in April. So let's move on to what I finished in the month of May. All right, so I started off May. Oh, these are scooting around a little bit. Let's scoot that back in. In the month of May, I did start off, or I guess I started this one in, let me turn that around, the end of April, go and finished it in May. This one didn't take a very long time to work up. This is a round shaped diamond painting. I think it's called Faces of Fairy 208 by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. It is again from Diamond Art Club. I wanted to move immediately into a smaller image with round drills after that large image with squares. And this one ended up fitting that bill and kind of was what segued me into getting my groove back in diamond painting. I will say the wings here, this butterfly, this dragonfly, they're all very gorgeous and I love them. But I do want to say that this coloring here makes her almost look like she's wearing a mask. And I don't think that I love that coloring. If I was going to hang this diamond painting in my home, I would probably re-render some of her face here just because it doesn't quite look like it should. It's just a little too dark for my taste, but that doesn't, mean anything wrong. And honestly, in the viewfinder, she looks gorgeous. I do really love this portion of the diamond painting and wish these colors actually kind of filtered more through. I don't think you only see a fraction of her wing over there. And I just, as much as I love this dragonfly, maybe the dragonfly could have been moved here and seen more of her wing. I don't know. But this part was my favorite part to work on here. Even though it was a little bit darker, I just loved the way this looked and how it came together as I was working on it. Again, I didn't have any problems. I think maybe there was one little patch of glue that wasn't very sticky, but I didn't have any blurry, symbols or anything. I didn't have any confusing symbols that I can recall. It just ended up being perfectly fine. I did not add any extra specials. Normally I customize my diamond paintings, but like I said, during this time, I kind of had lost my groove. So I didn't customize this one or the last one. And so it's just rendered. I just charted this as rendered. So there is some specials, like there's even little specials on her nose here, but there's quite a few in the butterfly and things like that. I'm not sure if that's coming across on camera, but yeah, this diamond painting worked up so fast and it was so easy that I was able to kind of get myself back into the other diamond paintings that I'll talk to you about. So let's go to the next one. All right, so right before so towards the end of May, I knew I was going to be leaving town. And so I wanted to kind of work on something small. In May, I was quite busy. I was working on multiple projects at work and my daughter was graduating from high school. So there was a lot going on with that. And so I really just wanted to make sure that I did something small. So I ended up picking out this one. I think it's called Gumball Machine. It is from Make Market. It's just a little tiny image. I couldn't even tell you the size because I didn't write all the statistics down. If you do want to know, please just put a note in the comment section and I will look it up for you. I just don't have that in front of me and I don't want to pause the video if I can help it to pull that information up. But anyway, there's like little sections of color blocking through here. And then there was lots of confetti through where the gumballs are. And considering the size of this image, I think that ended up working out perfectly fine. I think having this small image after that other smaller image just really made something in my heart happy. And I was so motivated after doing this image to kind of work through some of my stash. So this is just a typical Make Market kit. It had 27 colors. Oh, I just realized I didn't tell you the numbers on the other ones. So on Faces of Fairy, there was 40 colors. And on Dragon's Door, there were 43. I apologize for that. But anyway, there was only 27. There was 27 colors on this, which I thought was a lot for as small as it is. But I think it ends up rendering lovely. And I think, the bubble gums really stand out because of it. So it does look a little bit more pixelated than some of the bigger images. But honestly, like diamond painting is pixelated art. And I don't mind that pixelated look. If I was going to hang this on my wall, again, maybe I would want it a little bit bigger, but honestly, I just do this for fun and I know it's pixelated. So I think this is a cute image. And if you like it, I think you should definitely see if you can get it. I don't know if I know I've mentioned Make Market kits in my previous videos, but in case you've never watched those, this is just a scratchy kind of canvas. It's just, a pretty typical canvas that is seen for Make Market. I don't even know what the kind of canvas is called, but it is not flocked back, just the plasticky kind. This edges are scalped, but they're not poked, and I'm not having any issues with fraying. So, but anyway, there is Gumball machine, I think is what it's called. Like I said, I don't know. We'll move on. So from there, I knew I was going to be going on a retreat at the end of May, like I said, and I actually had a little bit of time between all the things that I was doing before going to the retreat, and I still wanted to diamond paint. Like I said, I had gotten my groove back. So I ended up pulling out my Harry Potter little Sparkle Pals. And so I did not get the entire series from the Harry Potter kit. I had a budget at the time and was only able to purchase, I think, 10 of these. So I will go through them with you. So I have Luna Lovegood, Hedwig. There's Hedwig. Here is Dumbledore. There is Hermione. Here is Bellatrix. Here is Harry. Here is Ron. Here is Snape. I said his name weird, sorry. And then I have Dobby. And I have Hagrid. So yes, I have 10 of them all together. So I counted like 5 of these as a single finish when I was counting my records, but honestly, like they all worked up fairly quickly, which was surprising given that, you know, like if you look just for an example, like the coloring here, the dots, the diamonds actually are in a curve. And so like multi-placing is a little bit hard unless you only do 2 or 3 at a time. And I truly do like to use a 12 placer. And so I felt like these went a little bit slower considering there were like this whole face is one color, but because of the way the lines are set up instead of being straight across, it did make it take a little bit more time. But I still at the end thought they all came out working out really quickly. I was very happy to learn that even because I unboxed these on my channel and I don't think I realized how many specials were actually in these kits. And I was surprised to see how many there were altogether. Because, oh my goodness. Now this one is the black and it has, and I'll just kind of show you, it has, not sure if that's focusing. There is a coating on top of the drills that's mica powder and it makes it sparkle. This is really not focusing on my hand. I'm so sorry. Hopefully, anyway, there's just like a little glitter coating on the top of the diamonds and that makes them shine and sparkle differently. I think this color here is probably my favorite. It's gorgeous. Again, I'm so sorry that it's not actually focusing on the drills, but you can kind of see that gold coating on the top of there. But there were crystals in here, so those kinds of diamonds. And then there were even, if I can find them, there were even some ABs. And ABs are the Aurora Borealis where they look like the Northern Lights, and they're very pretty. So maybe if I pull this one further back, I'll be able to show you some of that mica. There we go, maybe. Anyway, so all of these, a lot of these have that mica powder coating, the ones that are on their hair. Here's another one. The ones that are specifically in their hair all has the mica powder, which is really cool. Dobby's ears have it. And then, but Hedwig is a little bit different, but everything that you see that's a black outline pretty much has that. And so I thought that was really a neat thing to see how many of these colors were actually specials. And so I will actually save these diamonds. That's why they're in these baggies. I will save them and then I can add them to other projects that I just need a little sprinkle here or there. So yeah, that's actually how I get a lot of my specials for when I, you know, add a little bit of bling to my other canvases. All right, so I will pull these away. Okay, So then I left to go on my trip, and my trip was a retreat. And when I went there last year, I had a diamond painting that was about the size of my desk, and I barely got anything done. And so I told myself I was going to take a smaller canvas to work on, and I did. I did not think I would get hardly anything done, but we were also working at a smaller table with other people around us. And so we were able to socialize all while diamond painting. So I got quite a bit done. So here is the one that I ended up working on. This one I did customize. In fact, while we were there, we got there. So we got there on a Thursday night, and after dinner, I think it was like 7:30 or 8, I sat down and I was like, I have all of these. I brought this diamond painting already kitted up in containers, but I also brought like this big handful of special diamonds that I wasn't sure if I wanted to use them in this canvas, what I planned to do with them. And so after dinner, while they were talking to us, I actually sat down and hand charted some specials to go into this canvas. And so these are the ones that I ended up working with. This one, I drew the triangle kind of funny, but it's supposed to be like angled in this direction. So it's not actually supposed to be up and down. But anyway, I added this AB. It's 3156, I believe, 3756. It's 3756, but it's just like an aqua kind of color. I added that wherever there is this little triangle shape here, sideways triangle here. And then this is just like a champagne, or just like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not quite champagne, but it's a little darker. I added these wherever there was the number 1. So I believe this is the one that is added through the starfish, and I'll show you that here. I'll show you that up close. So the starfish have this like darker crystal to kind of make them stand out a little bit here and here. And then I added, this is Sparklers from DP with Sparklers, and this is Champagne. This is a gorgeous color. I added this all along the shore here. And that just makes that shore sparkle, and I love the way that looks. And then I added in another AB, 819. Yeah, 819. Sorry, some of these are smudged off, to wherever there is this symbol. And then for the letter J, I added this light kind of aqua colored crystal, and those are down here in the water a little bit, and through here, and then in this seashell. And then last but not least, I added this lagoon colored sparkler wherever there was the number 9, which was in this portion of the water. So overall, when I pick it up, it sparkles like crazy and has some depth to it. I'm not sure I love these darker ones in this area. I wish I had more of the darker, like surrounding it, to kind of help it fade a little bit. But that was what I had to work with at the time. I do really like how the crystal shore over here looks. And so anyway, if you're interested in customizing your own, this is a Diamond Dots image called Crystal Shore. I believe I got it from Walmart, maybe. I'm not even sure, but it has 27 colors, and it worked up pretty fast, and I really enjoyed customizing it. The ABs did end up going into these shells. I think I forgot to mention that, but that's where a majority of the ABs went, was in these shells. So yeah, I think it worked up lovely, and I enjoyed working on that, but I got this finished in less than 24 hours. So I had plenty more time to work. So I'll pull out the next one. While we were there, we received this diamond painting in our stuff. And so it's just Tiki Bar from Jaded Gem Shop. It has the typical scallop poked edges and the flocked backing. I had no issues with the glue. This is square drill, and I almost didn't work on it while I was there, but when I saw how much color blocking there was, I went ahead and did it. And I worked this one up very, very, very quickly. And so I, was perfectly happy with the way it went. I didn't have any specials to bling this one up that I was prepared to use. So, because I think the only specials that I brought with me were these rounds. And so I didn't have that ability, but it didn't bother me. And I think it just is a really cute image. This is for sale on Jade's website if you are interested. This only has 16 colors too. It, like I said, it works up really fast. It's a cute little image. And Jade herself made this image. All right. So then when I was finished with this, I did go ahead and complete the other diamond painting that was in our bag. It just says Aloha Summer. It's just a little crystal drill canvas. There are a few crystals that are a little bit bigger than the others, but other than that, that's it. I did keep the diamonds from this as well, just to add a little bling to my other canvases if I want them in the future, but ended up working on this. And then I think that was the last day of the month. And so this was the last one I did. I think that they just included these in our swag bag. It's just a plasticky little canvas, cheap image. There was like 6 different images that they had to choose from. And I actually swapped this one with one of my cohorts, and I mentioned it in my video that I'm posting about. If I haven't already, it'll be posted about the retreat. So anyway, that is all I completed for the month of April and May. I think honestly, overall, this one was probably my favorite just because I really felt my groove again. I was able to work on a round diamond painting canvas. I was able to customize it the way I wanted to. I love how quickly I was able to get it to work up. I liked that there was this part here was color blocking, but a majority of this was confetti, which I was not expecting. I thought there would be more color blocking through here, and there just isn't. So if you like confetti and you like smaller images and you like round diamond paintings, this is a really great one. This right here is the only real color blocking section. And thankfully this was the last bit that I did, because by the time I was down here, I was like, okay, I'm over the confetti, get me onto something else. And so anyway, that's my favorite for the month. Sorry for blabbering here at the end. I am just getting my groove back of getting into recording as well. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in this comment section below. If you like this video, or if you liked any of these diamond paintings that I showed you, please give me a thumbs up so I can kind of know what you're enjoying. And if you want to leave a comment about which one was your favorite one, I would like that too. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Remember that a Sparkle Sanctuary is wherever you go to take care of yourself. So take time to take care of you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.